Om. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om. My humble pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Yoga Vashishta. I am conducting this study hour so that I can learn. I am a student, I am a sadhaka. I am not a pandita, I am not a jnani, or I am not a guru. I am conducting this study hour so that I can learn. I am reading from a book published by Ramakrishna Matam, which is in Telugu language. I am making some notes and I am speaking in English. If there are any mistakes in my understanding, please forgive me. We are studying in the third prakaranam called Utpatti Prakaranam. In that, now we have come to a story. It's a nice story. This is about a person called Akashaja and death, Mrityu. Akashaja and Mrityu. Akashaja means one who is born to space, and Mrityu, death. So let us see this story. So Vashishta Maharshi is saying, O Rama, let us listen to a story about searching for death, searching of death. Mrityu is seeking something. Listening to this, you will understand about the Utpatti Prakarana. Once upon a time, there is a Brahma Veda, knower of Brahman, meaning he has studied Vedas, he has understood this deep spiritual truths. His name is Akashaja, and he used to do a lot of meditation. He used to wish for the welfare of all. He used to follow all the dharma, Vedic dharma. He used to be without growth and decay. Usually, people have growth and decay along with as the time passes. But this person was not undergoing any growth and decay. The death, the Lord of death, can take the life of any being, but the death has no power over this Akashaja. Death tried many times to gobble up this Akashaja, but it was not able to do. So it was surprised. Death, the purpose of death is to take away the old and lay the foundation for new. That is the purpose of death. Power has gone here, so there is no light. Just wait for a moment. Power will come. The purpose of death is to take away the old and lay the foundation for new things to happen. Death is thinking there is no destruction for me, but I keep on gobbling up all the beings. But it is wonderful, it's a wonder that I am not able to eat this Akashaja. I am not able to gobble up the history of Akashaja and make him enter into a new beginning. Just like a sword cannot is ineffective against a stone, similarly, my effort to gobble up this Akashaja is being wasted. Why is this? It is thinking. It wanted to understand why this is happening. See, if there is an efficient and intelligent person, that person will try to find answer to a question that bothers that person. Therefore, the mrityu, the death also wanted to find an answer. So it entered into the city where Akashaja was living and entered into the house where Akashaja was living. As soon as the death entered into the room of Akashaja, the fire of Pralaya, fire of great deluge, has started approaching Mrityu. Akashaja is in deep meditation. So, in order that he should not be disturbed, Akashaja has put a ring of fire around him. Death, however, crossed that ring of fire and entered into the inner room. The death tried to hold the hands of Akashaja. Death is very powerful being. It has strong arms. However, if you see a ghost in a dream, and try to catch that ghost with your hands. Will you be able to catch it? You cannot. Similarly, the death has many hands, powerful hands, but it cannot touch the Akashaja, who is a Brahmavetta, knower of Brahman. So, death has stopped its effort. So, death went to its lord, who is Yamadharmaraya. It asked Yamadharmaraya, O Lord, why am I not able to gobble up Akashaja? Then Yamadharmaraya responds. He says, O death, you by your own power cannot kill anybody. If a person is being killed, he is being killed by their karma, their own karma, what they have done previously, that karma phala alone kills them. If you are not able to kill this Akashaja, it is because this Akashaja does not have do worship, it does not have karma. Akashaja might not be doing karma at all. In his in the viewpoint of Akashaja, he is not doing any karma. Therefore, you look into the antakarana, antaranga, in the subtle body of Akashaja, carefully see if there are any latent impressions or hidden habits, some hidden karma is there, find out. Whatever karma is left in his subtle body, then you can kill him. If there is a feeling that I have seen this, I want to see that, I want to do this, I want to do that, then there is a element of karma left in that jiva. Where there is no doership, there is no karma. Then death searched entire universe for any karma left for that Akashaja. There is no son for a barren woman. If a person imagines a building, the person next sitting to that person cannot see the imagined building. Similarly, death did not find any karma, any reminding karma, reminder karma remaining karma for Akashaja. So death roamed around entire universe trying to find any karma left for Akashaja. Then it got disappointed and came back to Mrityu Devata, Yamadharmaraya, Lord of Death. Then Death told to Yamadharmaraya, O Lord, I have searched the entire universe. In his mind, in the mind of Akashaja, there is no karma at all, no sign of karma. O Lord, you are omniscient, you know everything. I am your servant. Please show me the way. Where are his karmas? In his in the mind of Akashaja, I did not find any karma. Then Lord of Death, Yamadharmaraya, thought for some time. Then he said the following: O Death, I have looked at Akashaja. Carefully, I have observed, I have analyzed Akashaja. For Akashaja, there is no karma. He is born from Akasha, space. Whatever is born from Akasha is Nirvishaya and Nirmala. Nirvishaya, Vishaya means attraction to worldly objects is Vishaya. We discussed about the definition of Vishaya earlier. I am this body, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. This is Vishaya. Nirvishaya means absence of the feeling that I want this, I want that. Nirmala, pure. Akasha, space, is Nirvishaya and Nirmala. Since he is born from Akasha, therefore, in the mind of Akasha, Akashaja, there is no I, me, mine concept. There is no ego. There is no attachment. Death can approach a person only if that person has ego and attachment, delusion. So Akashaja do not have any karma. I search his heart. He does not have any concept of I have done this karma. In all his praktana karma, that means in all the karma done by Akashaja in his previous lifespan, he does not have a concept of doership. I have done this, I am doing this. He does not have a concept of doership. He doesn't have the ego that I am doing this. Akashaja considered himself as birthless and without form. If there is no form, where is the doership? Where is the relationship with karma? In the perception of Akashaja, he considers himself as space. His form is like space. Space is untouched by wind, fire, water, and earth elements. If there is a tree, even though tree is in space, tree cannot touch space. Space is untouched. Therefore, if you say that particular place was once a city, now it is a forest, or once a forest, now it is a city, the space is untouched. Space has not modified into city or forest. Similarly, Akashaja considers himself nirvikara, he is unchanging, nirakara, without form. He considers himself as formless, changeless, birthless, therefore karmaless. So, no karma comes to him. He doesn't have a concept of, I have done this karma, I am the doer. Since that samskara, latent impression, is not there in him, his mind is always situated in the present tense. He's not thinking that I am doing this karma, therefore, this karma will result in something and I will enjoy the fruits of this karma in future. He doesn't have this concept in his mind. This vasana is not there in him. Therefore, because his mind doesn't have this concept that I am doing this karma, I'll reap the benefit of this karma, the karma phala is not coming to him. And prarabdha karma, what must have been done in previous lifetimes, or what has been fructified, is not attaching to him. That Brahmana Akashaja is meditating himself as I am like space. I am undivided, infinite space. I am birthless, changeless, formless. He is meditating like that. Therefore, that Akashaja is eternal. He is causeless. There is no cause for him. Just like Praktana karma is not there for him, what There is no previous karmas. Similarly, new karma also is not there for him. He is not gathering any karma. We can call him as space of consciousness. He is meditating on himself as I am, even though body is doing something, I am not the doer. I am not attached to the karma. There is no karma phala for me. He is meditating, he is situated in that feeling. Then death says, O Swami, O Lord, in the case of Akashaja, Akashaja do not have a concept of karma. He does not have samskara of karma. Therefore, in his case, there is no doership, there is no enjoyership. They fail, the karma fails in his case. I understood this much, but I have a doubt. If I observe him, I see movement of prana. I see movements. Body is moving, sensory organs are working, breath is happening, prana is moving, energy is moving. Then he is doing the karma of living. How can we say that he does not have karma? He is moving the body. Then Lord of the Death says, looking at him, looking at him as a body, sensory organs, movement of energy is our ignorance. He is not the body, he is not the mind, he is not the energy, prana, he is consciousness. If we look at him as a complex of body, mind, intellect, it is our ignorance. This is our avidya, our ignorance, our delusion. But Akashaja is not under that avidya, under that delusion. He doesn't have the concept, he doesn't have the buddhi, he doesn't consider himself as I am doing this, I am not doing that. That means if body makes an action, a movement, he doesn't have the concept that I am doing because I am not the body. Therefore, living, death, life, death, rebirth, these concepts he does not have. In his mind, he considers himself as eternal, birthless, changeless, like space. This body and the movements of the body, movements within the body and outside the body, do not belong to me. What body does, I am not concerned. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am pure consciousness, Shivaswarupi, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Sakshi Matra, I am Sakshi Chaitanya. This feeling Akashaja has. Akashaja transcended the physical plane. I'll tell you a drishtanta, a small story as an example. There is a big pillar. In that pillar, a sculpture is sculpted. There is a lotus. On top of the lotus, there is a lady standing. The stone that is used for the pillar, the stone that is used for the lotus, the stone that is used for the lady are the same stone. It's a single stone. The same stone is sculpted as a pillar, lotus, and a lady on the lotus. A person with ignorance will see them as separate, like this is a pillar, this is a lotus, this is a lady. He will have the perception of difference. If you look closely, everything is stone only. This is the perception of a jnani. In the Chinmaya Brahma, meaning in the consciousness, the world is also looks like different things, but in reality, it's all Chinmaya Brahman only. Therefore, O dear death, may you understand that Akashaja is non different from Akasha. He considers himself as pure, undivided, without doership, without karma. Therefore, we are calling him as Brahmaveta, knower of Brahman. Fluidity is the nature of water element. Emptiness is the nature of space element. Movement is the nature of wind element. These are all natural things. Similarly, appearance of world happens in Brahman. If a person considers himself as consciousness, he is considered as Shiva. If a person considers himself as made up of five elements, Panchabhuta, earth, water, fire element, as a physical body, he is considered Jiva by the scriptures. As the feeling, so is the classification. In reality, Jiva is Shiva, Shiva is Jiva. Everyone is Shiva only, everyone is Brahman only. Who is not Brahman? What is not Brahman? Everyone is Brahman, everything is Brahman only in reality. However, depending on the mind, what a person considers himself, the scripture will only classify that person as Jiva and Shiva. In reality, Jiva is Shiva, Jiva is Brahman. Shiva is Shiva, Shiva is Brahman. Everyone is Brahman only. Everything is Brahman only. This Vipra, this Brahmana, this Akashaja has attained Paramapada, the supreme state. He transcended karma. He does not have Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, or Agami karma. Therefore, he is not bound by samsara. If something is born from a cause, something comes up spontaneously. It is what is the effect is non different from the cause. If you make a necklace out of gold, gold is the cause, necklace is the effect. In reality, necklace is also gold. Necklace is non different from gold. The effect is non different from the cause. Akashaja is has the cause as Chidakasha, the consciousness. Therefore, we can call him as Swayambhu. O death, where there is no karma, you cannot, your writ will not run. This Akashaja is like space. He doesn't have a karma. The jiva, every jiva is actually Satya Sankalpa, meaning what he considers as real, he attains that, he experiences that. The jiva thinks that I am this body, I am this body which is made up of five elements: earth, water, fire, space, wind, and space. The jiva considers himself as the body, then he becomes body. Then the jiva considers, I am doing this, then karma comes to him, and you, the death, can take over him in a based on some time period. Where there is misconception, where there is unreality, where there is untruth, there death can play its game. This Akashaja is not like those jivas. He is considering himself as consciousness, not made up of the five elements. I am the space of consciousness. This is his feeling. His conviction is that. Therefore, he does not have form. One who does not have form, what can death do to that? Even if you make a strong rope, you cannot bind space. Therefore, you cannot do anything to him. Then death asks a question. O Lord, you said Akashaja is born from space, but space is empty. How is he born from emptiness? I also have another doubt. This earth and other elements are there at one time and not there at another time. Why is that? Then Yamadharmaraya says, this Akashaja, this Vipra, this Brahmana, Akashaja, is never born at any time. He is birthless, eternal. He is Vijnana Swarupa. He is of the nature of intelligence. The seen world and all the desires are burnt in the Atma Jnana, in the self realization. What is left? What is left is non dual, peace, emptiness, eternal, of the nature of Jyoti Swarupa, light, subtler than the subtlest, without any upadhi, without any upadhi, infinite, birthless, deathless, Brahman alone remains. Such Brahman do not have any changes. And our Akashaja has realized Brahman as himself. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. He realized that. Where there is no change, how can you enter there? O death, your Swarupa is the change. Whatever changes, you can enter there. But Akashaja is changeless. So, O death, you cannot enter there. Then death says, O Lord, tell me the life story of Akashaja. What is his nature? What happens to him? This unchanging Akasha, what happens to him? I want to listen. Then Yamadharma Raya says, there is something called Parabrahman, that is pure consciousness. It is anirvachaniya. You cannot talk about it. You cannot say anything about it. Sensory organs cannot reach there. The pure knowing concept of the Parabrahma, in that Jnana Swarupa, there is a concept arises which is I am the body. That body is the Virat Purusha. It is the vast universe. When that happens, those who have Baddha Drushti, a perception that I am this body, they see differences, Bheda Drushti in that. Those who do not have Baddha Drushti, bonded perception, they will see Brahman alone in the universe. I'll tell you an example. Brahman is like space, let us say. And Ajnana, ignorance, is like a lake. Let us say the ignorance is like a lake. That lake, in that lake, there is a reflection of the sky. The lake is the body of Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic mind. The lake is the cosmic mind. In that cosmic mind, just like in a lake, sky is reflected, similarly, Brahman is reflected. The collective mind is called Hiranyagarbha. In many bodies, this reflection enters and leaves. The collection of all such bodies is called Hiranyagarbha. The collective mind is called Hiranyagarbha. In the lake, if the water is moving, we get a feeling that the sky is moving. In reality, the sky never moves. If there are waves in the lake and moving, it appears that sky is moving. This is because of incorrect understanding. This is known only to a person who has a sharp intellect. Therefore, because of our ajnana, we think that Brahman is taking up the bodies. We think that Brahman has ignorance. But in that lake, there is a wave. That wave is the Vyashti, is the individual. There are many waves, but all the waves put together is Hiranyagarbha. The entire lake is Samashti. collective. Both Vyashti and Samashti are unreal. The individual wave and the collective lake both are unreal. In the wave, in the small part of the lake, space is reflected. In the entire lake, also, space is reflected. Both are unreal. In the entire lake, only reflection is there. The real Brahman is not there. The different waves in the water body are not real entities. Similarly, what we see as different bodies in the world, it is not real. Only the space is real. Because of the different waves in the water, the reflection of the space appears to be moving. In reality, space does not move. In the entire moving and non moving beings, in the mind, in the individual mind as well as the collective mind, just like space is reflected in the lake, Brahman is reflected in the minds of individuals as well as the collective, Hiranyagarbha. Because of the disturbance in the mind, it appears that Brahman is disturbed. But Brahman is never disturbed. Brahman is always Shanta, Shuddha, pure and peaceful, eternally true. This Vyashti, individual, and Samashti, collective, may be there, may not be there. Nothing happens to Brahman. There may be small waves in the lake, there may be big waves in the lake, there may be huge waves in the lake, there may be disturbances, but it doesn't affect the sky, the space. I told you that in the lake, there is a small portion where sky is reflected. It is called Vyashti. In the entire lake, reflection is there, that is Samashti. The Samashti reflection, collective reflection, is called Virat or Samashti Jiva. It is also known as collective being, also known as Hiranyagarbha. O death, the Jiva, as told in the earlier example, if he has a conviction that I am the space, I am the Brahman, if a jiva has that knowledge, that wisdom, that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this intellect, I am not this, I am that, I am Brahman, I am the space, I am consciousness, I am Shivaswarupi, then that jiva transcends death. This Akashaja is the as is we can call him Virat Purusha. Why? His feeling is In this infinite bodies, I am not one of the body. He feels that entire universe is me. I told you that Jiva is Satya Sankalpa. Whatever he feels, it happens. Whatever he feels strongly, it happens. It becomes real for him. All of us, because of our sankalpa, whatever we want to do, whatever we feel real, we are attaining that reality. Similarly, this Akashaja also. In the beginning of creation, he is space, space of consciousness. He doesn't have bodies, karma, doership, or any vasanas. He stayed as consciousness. He doesn't have praktana karma. That means karma done previously. Akashaja has space as the form. He is formless. We are seeing the form of Akashaja as a human being. That is because in his chitta, in his mind, a small remnant of chitta vrittis are there. Small remnant of thought patterns are there. When those are also removed, this form also will not be there. He is not attached to any physical object. All your efforts to gobble him up is useless. Nobody, death cannot gobble up space. Listening to this, death is surprised and it bowed down to Yamadharmaraja, Lord of Death, and went on its own way. Hari Om Tat Sat, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.